I'm getting at here, y'all have been separated for 9 years. Why? And you don't have kids. When's the last time you... Okay, well, I'll just say, when's the last time you had sex with him?
Why would I have sex with him when we're not together?
Yeah, exactly. Why should he give you money if you're not together? It's fucking crazy. In any case, look, there's perhaps some instances where I think alimony could be argued as justified, but you're both single. You've been separated for nine years. Why is this guy paying you fucking money?
He's also not paying me a lot of money, and a big part of it has to do with the fact that I moved around for his career and was not able to establish one of my own. So for many years after we split up, I was in a pretty tough situation trying to get my life sorted out so that I could afford to take care of myself more. And over those years, he has paid me less and less.
Well, for the period of time that you guys were together, he was paying all the rent?
Yes.
Okay. Was he paying for food?
Yes.
He was paying your expenses?
Mm-hmm.
Did he give you like a allowance or something?
No.
No allowance?
No.
Okay, so like if you needed to buy something for you, how would you...
I would ask him.
Oh, so okay. You didn't get an allowance, but anything you needed, he would pay for it?
No, not... If I needed it, yes. I didn't go out and just go on shopping sprees with his money. If I was spending anything more than $50, it was, hey, can I get this? And if he said no, it was, no, okay, I won't.
I want to ask the chat. Chat, do you think that given the fact they don't have kids, they were married for technically over 10 years, but they were together for 9 years, separated, but he delayed his start of the divorce. You think this guy should be paying her 9 years? It's been nearly a decade since they've had sex. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, what if the courts were like, you know what? What about sexual alimony? Oh. Why is it that men...
Wait,
hold
what?
Hold on.
Wait,
look, I'm not advocating for this. I'm not saying that prescriptively that this should be the case, but you guys would be like, that's ridiculous. Why should the woman have to continue having sex with the man after they've broken up? Why should the man then have to continue paying the woman after they've broken up?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I think the better question is he happy to pay this money? Number one, does he have an issue? Number two, if it's not a lot of money, what's the reason you continue to take it?
I am still in a position where I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to need it anymore.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but kind of like with a car agreement, you can't just be like, oh, I got a red car and I signed this lease. Now I want a blue one. And they should just disregard the agreement. Like, marriage is a legal binding between men and women. So, I mean...
Also, we don't know what they went through. Like, maybe she has some, emotional distress or something like that.
Emotional distress?
Yeah, I mean, men are, a lot to handle, especially if we don't know the ins and outs of somebody's relationship.
Wait, hold on. He divorced her.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think that caused emotional
I can't go
trauma?
and be like, I want a blue BMW.
Wait, so...
Yeah, and she's moved her whole life.
Okay, are you alleging that there was emotional trauma?
I moved my entire life for
That's not emotional trauma.
That's emotional stress.
Yeah.
No,
moving is a lot. Moving is a lot of work.
So much
hold
for
on,
him for
hold on.
what?
No. Hold on. Y'all are crazy.
Whoa.
Moving, in my perspective, when she's saying, well, my life, I was moving around, what I hear is she lived for free for 9 years. If
Isn't that
I could get
traditional
with a
woman?
girl and she took care of fucking everything for 9 years, I wouldn't be trying to shake her down for money a fucking decade after the last time we even been together.
Maybe you wouldn't. What some men do. Some men will take from women like that.
Okay, the legal system is literally a fucking shakedown. It's wealth transfer from men to women.
Yeah.
That's the legal system.
Okay, my other question is, if the positions were reversed, obviously you're the only one that knows the full in and outs of your relationship. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge anybody. Well, I kind of am
You can
a little
judge.
bit, but
You
I'm
can
not going to judge
Judge
you.
Chloe.
You're very sweet.
Judge Chloe.
My question is, don't come there. You're like, do it. If the positions were exactly reversed, would you be happy to pay him as well?
I don't know if I would be happy about it, but if I had married somebody that was a lifetime commitment and they moved their entire life for my career so that I could do what I wanted to do and live my life how I want to, then I would probably understand that if that's how the courts are set up, that's just something I have to deal with, or if that's whatever it is that has to do that, then...
But here's what I don't understand, right? So I think there is, I hear the other side when it comes to alimony and divorce, where it's like a woman, let's say you meet a girl and she was in college at the time and she was pursuing software engineering, and had she gone on to get that degree, she would end up making, upon graduation in some cases, immediately they start making $100,000 a year. A lot of these software engineers can make into like the $200,000, $300,000 a year eventually. But I guess my question is, what if a woman, prior to meeting her, she was a hairdresser, and that was what she was going to be for the rest of her life?
Some
There's
hairdressers
not
make
really,
6 figures.
like, you don't really, I mean, you can raise your prices over time.
No, some
but
make
if you're
six
a hair, hold on.
figures.
If you're a hairdresser, you keep the skills that you got prior to entering the relationship. Why should a man then basically, what's the term for it? Subsidize your life when once that relationship ends, you can just go back to the career you were doing and basically make what you, adjusted for inflation or whatever, make what you were doing at the start of the relationship. I realize not all people are hairdressers, but also not all people are software engineers. So
Most people, after they've not been working for a while, have a very hard time going back to whatever career they were doing and making the same amount. For one, makes it very difficult.
okay, but there's this lack of acknowledgement. Like, the way I'm viewing it is, if he was supporting you during this entire time, I view that as a windfall where you didn't have any actual expenses, like you didn't pay for rent, you didn't pay for food, you didn't pay for XYZ expense for a period of, 9 years you were together. I view that as a windfall, and I don't know,
But would you have been happy to
I don't
have
know.
paid the bills? Did you put aside your dreams and your goals and your education to support him in his endeavors?
Yes.
So I don't see what the issue is. I think that there should be a time cap, 9 years. I think that's a little long. However, Brian, if you are, say you're with a woman and, she's like, I'm a rock star and I want to go travel the world, but you have to be with me. So you have to give up your podcast, everything you're doing and all the money you're making, and come, I'll take care of you. But then she's just one day, she's like, yeah, like, I'm going to divorce you, whatever reason, whatever. Would you not feel kind of slighted? You'd be like, I had my own stuff. But then on the other side of it, it's like, that's your choice. So I'm kind of 50-50. I think 9 years is a long time, but I also think if you've put your whole life aside for somebody to support them in their endeavors, which often happens in relationships, then I get it. For 9 years, no. But I get it. Like 2-3 years after.
Or perhaps,
why
like,
not?
at a minimum, when the relationship's ended, if you've been the sole provider of all the finances and everything, just like a grace period when the relationship's over, of supporting them to the point where they get financially, stable enough to support everything themselves and then take it away, versus like, we were together for 25 years. Now I'm going to have to pay you every month a certain amount, for the 25 years, even though we just split up for like the rest of our lives.
I think that there are definitely a whole bunch of different scenarios that can either make more sense for there to be alimony. But, in this case, I think that, I think, yes, I'm not going to be super hard line where it's like, all right, you're a woman, you met young, you've been with the guy for 40 years, and then he dumps you. I think it'd be fair to say that there should be some component of ongoing support, perhaps not for the rest of their life, but for a period of time. But in this specific example, and even in this specific example, I'd be willing to grant perhaps a year of alimony would be warranted just to get somebody back on their feet. But I mean, like, what? 9 years, a decade's a long period of time. So what, like,
If I might add, to me, the way that I'm like hearing the whole alimony situation is, it sounds like you were promised a certain lifestyle and you were promised a certain financial freedom or a certain dream or you know, like home, family, whatever. And because that promise was broken, like during that promise, you were like, oh, I don't need to go do all these other things because I'm taken care of. But once that promise is broken, you were